Adventures with Lulu. In today's episode, we've come to the beautiful seaside town of Llandudno. On my way to Snowdonia, I thought I'd stop off for some fish and chips in one of my favourite seaside towns. Let's go and see if the chippy's open. There is nothing better than getting a bit of fresh sea air in your lungs. It took about 3 hours to get here today. The roads were really busy, but it's a beautiful day. Only about 10 degrees, it's really cold. To say it's almost May, but it's just lovely to get out. I'm breathing that sea air. So I'm just taking a walk up the pier first. I've not been up here. Well, I didn't come up here with Mum when we visited 2 years ago. So I'm just having a little walk just to get my appetite up, ready for the chip shop. We actually stayed in a camper van 2.5 years ago. We wild camped at the top of the Great Orme. You're not allowed to do it anymore. Since we've been there, they've closed it off and you have to pay for parking, and there's no overnight camping allowed, which is such a shame because that sunset is absolutely unreal when it's good weather. So we were very fortunate to be one of the last ones to enjoy that before they shut it down. So I managed to get my fish and chips. However, these also want my fish and chips, and I just got completely dive bombed and my fish got stolen. So I've actually walked all the way from the pier to try and eat my fish and chips, or what's left of them, in peace, because they just dive bombed me in front of everyone. I'm still going to eat them, I don't care. I paid £8.90 for these, so I'm eating them. No. Go and catch your own fish. You've already had some. You've dive bombed me, and now you two have managed to guilt trip me into having some, but I need to eat the rest. It was a bit of a trek up this really steep, windy road, but it was safe enough to get up here, and I've made it to this little park up that I found on Park for Night. And look at the views. We have mountains all around us, and in the distance behind me here, that's where we've driven from. That's where we were at the coast eating our fish and chips not long ago. It's just spitting with rain, but I think it's just a little bit of sea mist. There are some dark clouds up ahead, but it is a lovely spot. There is a bench, and it says going that way, no more vehicles going over there, but there is some paths. There's some footpaths, so hopefully I'll be left alone here tonight. There's nothing to say you can't park here. So there's a mountain just up behind this tree. I'm thinking of gonna take a little hike up there. I need to change my boots and get my jacket because it is quite chilly, but let me show you some of the views. I'm going to show you around my car camper because it is a slightly different setup to when I had Pedro. This is a Ford Focus and I've not really used it for car camping before, so this is the real thing for the first time. So it's going to be a little bit trial and error, and I have borrowed a few bits from Pedro. For example, these window blinds, they're a little bit tatty, but they do the trick. I have got privacy glass anyway. They are tinted so you can't really see in from the outside, but once you've got a light on it could be possible if you come up close, so I'm just going to put them in. Also, I've got curtains and they were also taken from Pedro. Now in here I'll just show you the setup. So what we've got down here is the cool box, and that's got all the chilled food in. It's got two 2-litre bottles of frozen water in there. One's wrapped in a tea towel to make sure it stays nice and cool in there. Here we have got the AFERIY power station, so it's going to be charging the phone, but also it's connected to my electric blanket, which is inside the sleeping bag, which is on my custom cut piece of foam mattress with the mattress cover. My tatty old pillow there. Over here I've got my table in case I want to cook with it, and I've got my rear window blind there, box of tea, my drone, let's hope he still works, and that's just a box of camera batteries and bits and pieces, chargers, that sort of thing. Here I've got my bag of personal items, clothes and toiletries, and in the bag for life at the back there I've got my frying pans and bits, I've got my wash basin and all my cleaning bits and pieces, and my dual burner stove as well. So in here I've just got an old cat food box, and in there it's got things like snacks and kitchen roll and the dry goods that I can eat later on. And as I say, these curtains are going to go right across to seal me in nice and safe. Just come round to the other side. In here I've just got my hiking boots and my gaiters, and also if I just get them out, I've got some water. That's just normal tap water, just for using for washing hands and bits and pieces like that. So that's tucked in there. And at the moment in the passenger front seat we've got the big old 70-litre rucksack, my Juta rucksack, and my hiking poles. That's all ready to go for a hike tomorrow. Now the reason I've bought that one is it's bigger than I need, obviously, but it has got my tarp and bits and pieces like that in as well. I wanted to get used to the weight and start hiking with it on my back again. In here you can see tucked behind there is my Allpowers power station. That's currently charging my phone. And in here, other than some mucky trainers, this is the bag from the boot, and it's got things like my jump leads, de-icer, windscreen cleaners, cloths, high-vis. It's also got my torch in here for later as well, which I've shown you in a previous video, and bits and pieces like that. That's normally in the boot, so I've just moved it to the passenger footwell instead. I just wanted to come somewhere like this, in complete wilderness, in the middle of nowhere, and get away from everyone, and just breathe in the fresh air and enjoy Snowdonia for what it is. Absolutely beautiful scenery all around. I think I'm going to have a heart attack. camp spot just here. I think I'll be back here in the summer. How lovely is this, sheltered behind this wall. And look at the view. So we're going to head back down to the car. Oh, sunshine! Anyway, as I was saying, we're going to head back to the car. It's 5:30, so we've got a little bit of time. I'm going to have a look at the map when we get back to the car and plan the route for tomorrow, I think. Can you hear that? So I've brought with me my little flex tail light. I can hang like a lantern up there. And what I've been doing is using OS maps on my phone to try and plot out a route for tomorrow. I don't want to use an already planned one, I actually want to make my own. So I'm just trying to work out, there's a waterfall not far from here that I'm going to see if I can find. And I also would like to do a summit. It's 9 o'clock and I think it's time to lock myself in the car. So on this car, there is a lock button on the driver's door. So I'm going to reach through and probably get myself caught on these curtains in the process, but I think now is the time to lock myself in. I won't be going back out again. It's about, apparently it's 9 degrees, but feels like 6. It certainly feels like 6 to me. So excuse me while I just reach through. And that is us locked in. Once again, just to show you how I use the AFERIY power station, you press it on. And there we go. You can see it's got 98%. This one I normally use to charge my phone, but my phone's on the other power station. But just round the corner here is the plug for the heated blanket. And there's just, again, I don't know whether you can see in the dark very well, but there's a button. You press that. This little symbol comes on here. The heated blanket is now on. That'll start working instantly. And 98%, that will last a good few days. Right, it's time for bed. I'm going to get myself ready to go to sleep because we've got a long day ahead of us tomorrow with lots of adventuring. I've no idea what it's going to be like. So yeah, a little bit apprehensive, but it's going to be a good one, hopefully. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night. Morning campers. I've literally just got back into my clothes and I've just jumped back into my sleeping bag to keep warm. It's about, I think, 4 or 5 degrees. There was an amazing sunrise that I was tempted to fly the drone, but the drone is so noisy and I thought it would just disturb the morning, so I didn't bother. But it's a little bit misty this morning as well, but I think it's clearing quite nicely. So I'm going to make myself a cup of tea and have some breakfast, and then it's time for adventure. So we've got chocolate cookies, strawberries, and an apple, and a cup of tea for breakfast. There This is the route we're going to take today. We're going to start from about here and we're going to follow this line all the way along. Okay, and then we're going to come up here. Now, this is the summit, Allpowers, 942 metres above sea level. Apologies if I don't pronounce it properly. And if we look out towards Anglesey, this is actually the summit that we went to in August when we came up River Anafon to the reservoir, and then I camped about here, and that's where I had views of Anglesey and the sunset and then the sunrise from this angle. And I came up to the summit, down the other side to the waterfalls, and then on to Aber Falls. So that is a really nice route, really tough going, and I'm not expecting this one to be any easier. It's a higher summit, and who knows what this path is going to be like. Whether I make it all the way, I don't know. I am planning on coming back the same way, but we'll see how it goes.